In this video, I want to demonstrate how to use the hole series to add a hole so a fastener could be used to fasten this to this. Before I select the hole series, I'm going to pre-select the face where I want the first hole to be. So the clearance hole will be here and the threaded hole will be here. So I'll pre-select this face and I'm going to look normal to it. By pre-selecting the face, it avoids me starting the hole series and having to create a 3D sketch. Not that it can't be done with a 3D sketch, but if you're not careful, you can accidentally put the hole on an angle. By pre-selecting the face, the hole will start normal to that face. So now I've pre-selected and I've looked normal to, I'm going to come up to the assembly features, to the drop-down menu, and I'm going to select hole series. Not hole wizard, but hole series. And the first thing it'll do is it'll say, do you want to create new holes or use existing? I'm going to create new. So I'm going to add 3 points and I'm going to push escape. And I'm going to select them all. And I'll make the relationship vertical. I'll use mouse gestures to activate smart dimension, and I'll dimension from this edge of this part over. Don't worry that my dimension is not where it should be. With my cheaper graphics card, this often happens. That's okay. I'm going to click to place the dimension. I'll put my size of 0.325 and enter, and it'll go to where it should be. This might happen several times. So now I'm going to dimension from here up. Again, not worried about where the dimension is. I'm going to make that 1.5. And then I'm going to do the center to center for the remaining 2 holes at 4. And you can see now it's dimensioning in the correct place. So I have my sketch fully defined. I'm going to tell I'm done dimensioning. I'm going to rotate around a bit so we can see it better. And you'll notice there is a preview already of the hole. So the first thing to do in the hole series is to fully define your positions. And then I'll go to this tab. And what it's asking me here is, in this first part, what type of hole do I want? So I'm going to tell it I want a countersunk hole. And if I zoom in, we can see the preview of a countersunk hole. You can say I'm working with the inch standard. I want a 100-degree included angle flathead screw, number 4, and I'll leave all the standard sizes. Then I go to the next tab. This tab is if there's more than 2 components. What do I want the hole between the first and the last component to be? I can do a clearance hole or I can do a slot. Now we only have 2 components, so I don't have to worry about that. Then I'm going to select this, and this says for the final part, what's your hole type? I can have a clearance hole, a clearance slot, or a threaded hole. So I'm going to do a threaded hole and tell it to auto size based on the start of the hole. The bottom tapped hole is great, or I can switch it to just a tapped hole. And the size, I don't want a 448. I'm going to come back here and say I want the 440. And the tap drill, I'm just going to tell it to go through all. And the thread, it might have a problem with the 2 times diameter because the part isn't that thick. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to tell it I want to select the end component now. When I click this, it may give me a warning it's not allowed. It probably has selected it. So I'm going to right click at this point and accept it. And we'll see what happens. Okay, so I want to see what's happened. Here is my hole. Just going to right click on annotation to shut the dimensions off. So I want to look inside this part. So I'll expand it. And here we see the countersunk clearance hole. I'll minimize it. And then I want to look inside this part. I'll expand it. And here we do see we did get the 440 tapped hole. It has the position sketch. It was just having a hard time because the depth isn't 2 times depth. So it's all good. At any point, if I want, I can go back and I can edit this whole series like any feature. I can come here and say edit feature. And I can change anything I would like. So the last thing I could do is tell it to place a fastener out of the library. It's called Smart Fastener. Again, it's turned on all the annotations. So I'm going to right click and shut them off. And now it's got a folder here for the Smart Fastener. So it's added 3 flathead screws. But as you can see, they extend quite a ways beyond the part. So at this point, I'm going to save my work.